What's going on, guys and gals? Stock Jock here. Not up anything today. It's going to be a little bit different video. Before I get into the video, I want to invite everybody that is watching to our free chat room. You might not want to come after seeing a red day. That is kind of what we're going over today, but it's free and we know what we're talking about. For the most part, we like to teach new traders. We like to help out people along their trading journey. And if you're an experienced trader, we love having you as well, calling out things that you see, potential plays, setups, and all that stuff. Link for that Twitch stream is down in the description down below, as well as our free Discord channel that we have. Same thing that goes there. We throw around charts. We talk about what we're looking at. It's great, all free. So link for all that is in the description down below. Now, today's a different day, a different kind of video. Normally I do a recap of what I go over the first hour. I felt the need to go over today and talk about some subjects that I don't ever hint on in my videos. You'll see me talk about it when I'm live streaming, but if you're only watching YouTube, you might think that I only have green days because that's all I post. And there's a reason behind that, and we'll get into that. But I did want to make it very clear that I do have red days. I have them quite often. Well, not quite often. Maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. It depends. I don't know. Today, here's my total for on the day. I lost $7,687. A lot of money. It wasn't too pretty. Actually, it was up most of the day. I was up at one point $4,000. I had a couple bags that I was trying to get rid of today, and that's part of this loss here. I was up, I had about a $5,000 bag that I got rid of, and when I got rid of it, I was actually green on the day at the time, and 2 trades at the very end of the day really kind of screwed my day over. And it was just back to back, and this went from, one of them was, OBLN, let's just go and look at that one real quick. One of them was this wedge that OBLN was making right here, kind of broke out of to the top side, and then immediately pooped all over everybody. I got flushed out in that. So that was part of it, and the other one was a Tesla head fake, and it didn't help. But this was the majority of the loss right here anyway. But again, the video right now is not to go over my trades today, because I'm not going to do them. Today's video is about why I don't post red day recaps. Some other traders do it, I don't do it. So why don't I do that? And again, I wanted to make this video because I see a lot of the comments, man, I'm so encouraged by what you do. You really encourage me and motivate me to do this and that and the other, become a trader. And I do want I do want a little bit of reality to set in on the YouTube videos, is I do have red days, and sometimes they're very big. This is like an average red day for the size I take. I take rather big size, big risk, big reward. This is kind of an average red day for me, and I know that's not how most people, their red days go, because of the size they're taking is much smaller. But if you scale up, you're going to have red days like this. A big red day for me would be anything over $15,000. So this is an average red day. So why don't I go over red days? So the reason why I don't do that is because even though I'm a successful trader, I'm up roughly, with this loss, I'm probably up $70,000 on the year. I'm down roughly $3,000 on the week. So yesterday was a $4,500 week, or say Tuesday was a $4,500 day. This is a $7,600 loss. So I'm still red on the week, and it's not bad. It's something manageable. Hopefully I get it back tomorrow. Hopefully I get it back Friday. If I'm not, it's not the end of the world. But why don't I post red day recaps? Why don't I go over the trades, trading days when I'm red? And it's very simple. It has to do with the emotional well-being of me. So even though I'm a successful trader, I have to do things to manage my emotional side of things. It's a battle that I will always have as a trader. It's a battle that you probably have if you're watching this video. It is the hardest part of trading. If I was a computer and I knew how to program what I do into a computer program and let a bot trade, it would be so much easier, because that bot doesn't have emotions, doesn't have a feeling of euphoria, doesn't have the feeling of utter despair. It just does what the strategy says it does. It doesn't care. It doesn't care how many times it's right or wrong. It doesn't matter. It's just plugging away. Humans are completely opposite of that. We have emotions, and they do get in the way of trading. If you look back at my 2019 year, I had a lot of stress in my life. Not trading, although my poor trading in 2019 contributed to my stress in my life, but I had a lot of things going on in my personal life that created a ton of stress. And that could be you as well. It could be something in your family, something at your work, anything in life that can create massive amount of stress can influence your trading. So one of the things I do to manage my emotions is I try to blot it out. I try to completely forget about it. For instance, I know I've had other red days this year. I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you at all how much those red days were or when they were. I don't know if I had a red day last week. I can't tell you because I do such a good job of blotting it out. And the reason why I do that is because, and I want to forget about the red day because I want to be able to enter each day fresh, each trade fresh for that matter, and not let previous plays or whatever, or days, good or bad, influence how I'm making trades in the here and now. So when I have a red day like this, there's not much I do. I turn the computer off, I go play video games, I go play hockey, whatever it is, and try to forget about the day. Now, if I were to make a red day recap every time I have a red day, that I just can't emotionally handle that. I can't do it. It would be not glorifying the red day, but it would just be bringing attention to it, and I'd be doing a video on it for an hour. Then I'd have to edit that video, which is probably another hour, upload that video, and then I'd have to relive comments. The comments say, it's good to see that you're human, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just constantly reliving that red day, and I don't want to do that. I'm not good enough to do that. I want to forget about it because I don't want that red day to influence how I trade the very next day. I used to be one of those guys that would have a calendar out when I first started trading and mark down how much I made each instant every day and put it on a calendar, plot it out, and see if there was, just plotting it out. And I stopped doing that. And the main reason is because whenever I had a red day, I would focus on that red day so much that I'd be like, okay, I got to, if I was down $100 or $500, whatever, I'd be like, okay, next day I got to make $500 back. That's not the way trading works. You've got to take each trade as an individual entity, right? You're not making a trade based off of what you just did. You're making a trade based off of what you see in the here and now. One of the things that I do when I'm live trading is if I'm in a trade and I think it's going to go against me, or if I'm not sure if it's going to go against me, I just turn this off. I don't want to look at the potential, like say I'm up $5,000 a day and I make a trade that it could go red on me. I don't want to take the emotional hit when I hit that sell button, watching $5,000 profit go to like $2,000, say it's a $3,000 loss. I don't want to take that emotional hit. I'll just turn it off. In fact, before I started trading live on Twitch or in front of people, I wouldn't even look at what I was up or down on the day. I just had this off. It's only because I stream do I keep this on if it's green, and that's only because it just it makes it easier for people coming in and they're like, oh, how much you're up in the day? Oh, it's right there on the screen. He's up XYZ. If I'm red on the day, I don't have this up at all because I don't want the emotion. I don't want the stress of, oh, I'm red on the day. That means in this next trade, I've got to make some of that back. No, I need to take every trade as an individual trade with its own set of rules that I've, and my own strategy that I implement on that trade. If it goes against me, I need to be able to get out and not care. If it goes in the direction that I thought it was going to go, I need to be able to take out profit when I think I need to take out profit. I don't need to be like, oh, I'm up $1,000 on this trade, but I'm down $1,200 on the day. I really think I should get out of this trade right now. But if I did that, I'd still be down $200. Maybe if I waited a little bit longer, then I'd be up maybe $1,200 and I could get out, break even on the day, whatever. Nope. Now that red day is influencing how I'm trading right now. And I don't want that. So those are some of the things that I do. I don't do red day recaps because I don't want to relive this. I don't want to take. I don't look at my P&L when I'm about to take a loss. I'll flip back at later on the day. If say I take a green trade or whatever, I'll be like, all right, how much am I down now? Real quick. Okay, let's forget about it and move on. The emotional side of trading is the hardest part of trading. I've been trading for going on 11 years now. That's from doing it part-time to full-time where I'm at now. It is the hardest part of the job, and it never gets easier. I take that back. If you're up a crap ton on the year, it's a little easier to take a loss. I'm up $70,000 on the year. It's a little easier to take a loss than if I was only up $2,000 a year and I took this kind of a loss. So being successful does help. However, it still wears on you. There was a stretch last year. Last year, I made $906,000. It's an insane amount. I started with roughly $40,000 in the account, turned it into $906,000 in an insane year. Insane year. And I don't know if I'll ever have another one like it. Maybe I will. But there was a stretch when I think it was October. It was 2 red weeks back to back. I lost, I think, $8,000 one week, and I lost $10,000 the next week. Over that span, I lost $18,000. It was my first back-to-back red weeks, like all year long, probably. And let me tell you something. Those 2 weeks make me hate trading. I didn't want to ever do it again. It was just hell on earth for me because it didn't matter that I was up probably at that time roughly $700,000 or $800,000. I don't know. I'd have to look back to do the exact math, but it was a crap ton. And $18,000 is definitely not the end of the world at that time in my life. But it felt that way. Your red days will always feel worse than your positive days. If you make $1,000 and you lose $1,000, you should feel emotionally neutral, right? Wrong. Making $1,000 feels good, but losing $1,000 feels 5 times worse. So in essence, you'd have to make $5,000 to feel the joy equal to the stress and anxiety you would feel if you lost $1,000. That's just the way it is. That's the psychology of trading. Your red days will always feel worse. Your bad red days, or any red day for that matter, will always feel worse than your best green days. That's how it is. I know that I will make this money back hopefully soon. But I'm telling you right now, it is a struggle to know going into tomorrow. I'll be thinking to myself, all right, how much more do I have to make? I lost $7,000. How much more do I have to make to get back to making money, so to speak? It's just an emotional drain. It's part of the job. It's the worst part of the job, managing your emotion. So again, that's why I don't do red days. This is probably the only one you'll see for a long time. I've made this video probably 3 years ago. So you can look back on it. I said the same stuff. My wins back then were much smaller. My losses were much smaller. If I took a $7,000 loss, 5 years ago, it would be completely detrimental to my well-being. But it's a different time right now. So I don't do red day recaps, trying to manage emotions. And I encourage you, if you have a hard time with the emotional side of trading, do things to block that out. Do things to help that. If you're writing down all your stuff and you're focusing on those red trades and those red days and they're influencing your trading the next day, get rid of the log. Get rid of it. The quicker that you can forget about that red day, the better off you're going to be. You want to be able to take every single trade as its own entity without any other outside influence. When I took this trade right here on OBLN, I was, I was green on the day at this time. I was very green on this trade. It went to high a day. I thought I was going to break out, and it immediately flipped on me. Where is that trade at? Here it is, right here. I took 4,000 shares at 10.50, right? And it immediately flushed me out, and I lost almost close to $1 on that trade. So it was like a $3,500 loser in seconds. In seconds. Well, this was like a minute hold, it looks like. All right, a minute. $3,500 a minute. I went from green on the day to red. I had to walk away for a second, gather my thoughts. I know this crap happens in the small cap world, where these crap stocks that I trade to make money, this stuff does happen. In fact, I told my chat right before this happens, I'm like, man, this thing's got 350 million shares traded. I always feel in these wedges that two things are going to happen. It's always like the bears have insane amount of influence in these patterns. It's like if it breaks to the top side, it probably is a bull trap and immediately dumps, or it just breaks down out of these wedges. I always feel like the bears have the upper hand, and it turned out to be true, and it just completely did a dumpster dive after that. So anyway, I'm getting kind of long-winded here. The main point is I don't do red day recaps. You won't see me do red day recaps because I don't want to think about my red day. I have them. I have red trades. I go over on the green days that I have. You see them, the red trades that I took. Yesterday, for example, I think I was red on most of my trades, except I had one trade that turned my day from red to green. You'll see the red trades I take. So if you don't see a video up on multiple days, one of two things happened. It was either a green day that I just didn't have time to get the video up, or more than likely it was a red day and I just don't want to think about it. So anyway, if you have any problems with managing emotions, if you have questions for me, find me on Discord. I'll be happy to ask or answer your questions. I get DMs all the time with all sorts of questions. I'm happy to help out. That's part of it. Again, emotional side of trading is very hard. If you have things in your life that are hectic, chaotic, don't trade. It will come out into your trading if you do so. My 2019 year, at that point, I've been trading 9 years. And 2018 was my best year ever at that point. Then 2019 was like my worst year as far as profits go. I made like $100. I went from $130,000 in 2018, my best year ever at the time, to making $100 in 2019. All because of the stress of my life. All because of the emotional stress in my life. And it turned into my trading. I started on a red streak, and I just never could recover. I'd get green, and then I'd make stupid mistakes, and I'd get pissed off, and then I'd try to revenge trade, go bigger size, try to get it back. It was a nightmare. And then 2020, I said, screw this. I'm going back to how I used to trade. I'm going to be level-headed. I'm going to make money. And I had my best year ever with $906,000. So anyway, long-winded. That's about it. Red Day recap. There you have it. Why I don't do red day recaps anyway. And I'll hopefully see you tomorrow in Twitch.